Picking ourselves up after our last episode, we're heading out to the Diarnis hold, where Nalia has been waiting on us for the last 2 months while we've walked backwards and forwards, messing around in Furcrag's dungeon.
There you are! I've been waiting positively ages for you!
After a brief chat with the guards, we waste no time and we make our way into the keep. A few secret doors later, and we stumble across our new guy, this troll. And he comes with a unexpected surprise. Yeah, for some reason he has all these cleric spells, and just to confirm, I have absolutely no idea why this would be. These trolls never cast at you, and it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But, oh well. We'll call him the Enlightened One. Getting a troll in the party is actually going to be very powerful. They regenerate HP each round, and can only be properly killed by fire or acid damage. It may actually turn out to be too overpowered, but we're going to stick with it for now. With that done, we begin clearing through the keep, taking out a few more trolls, and we eventually make our way outside.
Yes.
We get this thing as our outside encounter, and I'm all for it. We're probably never actually going to use it, but these are one of the coolest models in the game in my opinion, so that's enough for me. We make our way up to the walls of the keep and let the guards in, and then we rush back down to help them deal with the various enemies that have spawned.
You will suffer. Oh, yes.
And just to stay on theme, we have already kind of cleared out most of the baddies on the ground floor, so there's not really a lot for the guards to do. Still cool though. Something funny that does happen while we're back inside though, is that we managed to start the "oh god, the trolls" conversation with Daleson with the Enlightened One.
I have nothing you wish.
Finishing up the few little locked rooms on the ground floor, we head upstairs, and, you know, I'm following the route that I used to follow when I was a kid, and these encounters are making me realise that we really should have done this keep thing first. It's so much easier than Furcrag's dungeon. We do have a little bit of a wobble during this fight against this Yuan-Ti mage, where half the party gets confused and we have to stop Charname from just straight up murdering Cuffs. We continue going from room to room, picking off trolls as they present themselves, with a brief stop to rescue a very ungrateful noblewoman.
'Tis like a nightmare, yet more hooligans tracking their filth through the halls.
She seems to be more concerned about me making a mess over acknowledging that I'm saving her, but as Imoen said, that's gratitude for you. The next event of note on this floor of the keep is this guy.
What can it be now?
Apparently he's actually just mind controlled and you can dispel him for a bunch of XP, but I didn't know that, so we just resolved the problem with violence.
Solid.
Now, things are going great. I've clearly tempered the party by taking on Furcrag's stuff first, and all of this is just going to be a walk in the park. I'm sure nothing will present a challenger. Oh no. Golems are always pretty rough, but those big silver ones are a nightmare. We stumble through this fight for a while, but I can't for the life of me figure out what I actually need to do in order to damage it. We take advantage of the Enlightened One's constitution to facilitate a tactical retreat while I fumble around in my inventory looking for the highest plus weapon we have. It's Corvael's axe. We, and I mean Charname, charges back in and begins chipping away at the golem. Embarrassingly, it's actually still somewhat hard even when the golem isn't directly attacking me. It lets out a poisonous cloud, and we're basically tickling it to death a few damage at a time. We wrap up the rest of the room and head down to the cellar for our next encounter. It's another troll! A ghost troll! No mysterious caster abilities on this one, however. He can stay in the Pokemon PC for now. One troll is enough. Trolls are immune to confusion, so for this next encounter it makes perfect sense for the Enlightened one to take the lead. He can take all these Umberholt's confusion attacks straight to the face, no problem. Opening this door, it's clearly where we're supposed to be going, so we go back and look everywhere else first. Having found nothing of note, we buff up and engage the boss.
I smell you. I do. You Bradunk. No be hiding on Torgal.
This is actually a rather uneventful showdown. There's not much really to set it apart from all the other troll encounters we've seen up until this point. We spend longer managing our inventory than we did actually fighting. Oh, and we find out Nalia's dad is dead. On the way out, we make sure to put the Flail of Ages back together. Having another +3 weapon would have been really useful in that golem fight. Wish I'd done this before. Now here's something that makes less sense than usual. When we go out to report the good news to Nalia, she still offers to make us the Duke. This feels totally out of left field. We've never travelled together, we made her wait ages before coming to help, and she really has no idea who we are. But whatever, welcome to the nobility. We get another boatload of XP for finishing this quest. I noticed something that will be good to keep in mind for future party members. When we level up the Enlightened one, we actually make him somewhat worse. It's not a strict downgrade, as, much like Shawat did back in the day, he gains all the standard cleric spells back, but in this instance he also loses a bunch of spell slots. These slots were the slots that he had beyond what he was intended at his previous level. And if we come across any other characters like this, I think it's important that we consider if levelling them up is actually worth it. Heading back to the main city, we're now rich enough that we're approached by the two representatives of the Thieves Guilds. We're told that Galen has a better deal for us, and that the mistress of the other guild wants to talk to us. Sounds like something we should do later, clearly no rush. In true D&D fashion, we ignore the main quest and go shopping. Not only that, I start an entire side quest with the sole purpose of enhancing the shopping experience. We're going to clear the circus so that we can get our hands on the ring that boosts charisma. Entering the dungeon, however, I'd totally forgotten about this genie. I purposefully get his questions wrong in the hopes that he will attack me, and we're in luck because he does. We'll call him Robin. Robin is packing spell slots. He is a great character to get after we've just learnt that valuable don't just level up lesson. He has so many more slots than he would usually have at this level. Interestingly, he can't cast level 4 spells, but I'm happy to trade that for the sheer number of other ones he can cast. As much as I've enjoyed travelling with our stupid mage, it's time for her to sit things out for a bit.
Your reign of terror stops here, I swear!
Now, getting into the dungeon proper, I think this is really intended to be the first mini-dungeon after the tutorial dungeon, so we just kind of blast through it. It's a bit sad, but it takes 5.5 minutes of real time to complete, and that's including all the time it takes for me to sit there and read the dialogue. The werewolves we could pick up from this place are actually all just illusionary, and they're all worse than Silvertongue, so I don't feel the need to catch them.
No! This isn't what was supposed to happen. This isn't what was promised to me.
The first thing we're going to do post-circus is pick up some anti-magic spells for Robin, now that we have our handsome man store discount. The second thing is I'm going to completely forget what I actually even wanted to buy, and just head off to Trademeet to do another quest.
I will do my best.
Over in Trademeet, we talk to the head honcho and he lets us know that his issues are twofold. 1. Wild animals are attacking the town, and some people believe that the local druid grove is behind it. 2. Genies are buying everything and creating a trade monopoly. We are totally qualified to deal with both of these, so we get right to it. We get Cerned out of jail, have a chat with the aforementioned genies, and then head out to the Druid Grove. Now, I was hoping that we'd be able to get a Druid encounter in the Druid Grove because, you know, it's in the name. However, the encounter is another troll, and I'd rather just kill them for XP at this point. There's a secondary area in the Druid Grove though, called the Troll Mound, and I bet you can't guess what the encounter was in there. There are a few more encounters outside that we deal with pretty quickly, and we make our way over to the Inner Sanctum. And while we're watching those encounters fly by, I'd just like to take a second to thank the around 8 of you who are consistently watching this series. I see you. The gimmick here is that the current Archdruid has bound herself to the Grove, making her basically invincible, while also making it so that if we did manage to off her, it would cause the death of the land. So, it's not all doom and gloom though. Other druids can challenge her, and we could get Cern to do it, even without adding him to the party, but where's the fun in that? I think I know where we can get our hands on an interesting druid. And here we are, yes! That famous druidic haunt, a city graveyard. We'll have druids coming out of our ears, I'm sure. Not like the Druid Grove. It's an Iceland versus Greenland type situation, I assure you. I'm pretty careful as I walk through the graveyard district as I don't want to trigger any of the random encounters with weak hostile NPCs in the main area. I'd rather keep the encounter slot open. We spend a little bit of time above ground picking up random side quests that we may do later, but they aren't very important for now. We make our way underground as quickly as possible. We're able to skip over quite a sizable portion of this area due to the entrance we've chosen to come in, and we quickly make our way to the centre of the floor, where we're ambushed by some spiders. Some of these spiders pack crazy powerful poison, you know. I would have heavily considered one for the team if we could actually grab one. And here she is, Paina.
If the queen of the demon web pits calls for your heart, you shall surrender it gladly.
The half-drow druid. I remember this NPC pretty vividly because she grossed me out when I was younger. She's far too enthusiastic about spiders. Stealing Paina really invalidates this entire encounter as all that's left are these 4 HP spiders, and it takes us far, far too long to kill them all. But that's probably my fault as I don't even bother giving the party any commands. I thought it would just be a walk in the park. Paina is a level 10 druid, but again, she is packing a major spellbook with many slots, and also seemingly has access to the full spellbook, unlike many other NPCs. I'm sure she'll be more than a match for the Archdruid. And while we're on our way back, something very interesting happens. We are attacked by vampires. I have been waiting to get my hands on a vampire for absolutely ages. Usually in these Thieves Guild encounters, we can't get the vampires to go hostile on us without attacking them, but in this one, we can. The big boss one with a name is even the closest one to us. Dell is joining the team. She has loads of health, amazing stats, and has that sweet level drain attack that was causing so much trouble for us back in Furcreg's dungeon. She is even smart enough to identify some of our equipment without using the identify spell. I mean, sorry Sparky, but you're going to have to sit this one out. We take a quick rest and then get ready to go about our day. Wait a second. Go about our day?